This training covers how to use the Experiments feature within Beeswax. The Experiments feature can be found at the campaign level and is a simple toggle. The reason that you may want to use experiments is for successful A/B testing. It ensures no overlapping users between line items underneath a campaign. When you toggle to yes, you will see the New Experiments tab appear at the top. Here you will have visibility to the 14 test plans we have available. If you can't see the test plan that you are wanting, please reach out to your customer success manager. We should be able to add this in. You need to choose the type of test plan that you're wanting and how to split your users. The example here is testing whether the CPC algorithm drives better performance than the flat CPM bidding strategy. So bidding strategy is a prime example of why we would want to use experiments. Both these line items would have exactly the same setup other than the bidding strategy selected. Therefore, to fairly test the two, we want to ensure that no users overlap. In this case, we'll select the two-way split and assign Group A to the CPC algorithm line and Group E to the flat CPM bidding line. Now we can ensure that we have split our users into and can directly compare these two line items. Other examples can be testing CPM bids, creative messaging. Create two different line items with exactly the same targeting and setup, but have different creatives. And this will enable you to see if the creative makes a difference to the performance you see. One thing to note, all line items must have a test group assigned, but you can assign the same test group to multiple line items. So if you had another line item here, you could assign Group A to two line items and Group B to another. You don't have to use all test groups. So in this case, you could save it with Group A assigned to both line items, but you won't be achieving your desired outcome. You also have to be careful if you don't use all the test groups, you may risk limiting your reach. And so once you've assigned the test groups, you can save and exit, and those test groups will be applied to the line items underneath that campaign. To get visibility on what these test groups are doing, we've added in additional fields to our reporting. These fields will be available in the performance report and the conversion report. Find these by simply typing test into the search bar, and you will be able to see your test group ID, your test group name, your test plan ID, and your test plan name to get a good idea of what these test groups are doing to your data. To summarise experiments, you will use this experiments feature to target different line items to sets of non-overlapping users. This is also known as A/B testing or randomised control studies. A couple of examples why you would want to use this is to test bidding strategies, to test CPM bids, to test creative messaging, and also incrementality. We have 14 test plans available, and if you can't see your desired split, please reach out to your customer success manager. All line items under the campaign with experiments activated must have a test group assigned. You can assign multiple line items to the same test group. Not all test groups need to be used, but please note if you don't use all of them, you may risk reducing your scale as you won't be exposed to all Beeswax user IDs. For reporting, you can find additional fields under the performance and conversion reports within Report Builder. These are also available in logs. You can see additional fields in win, bid, attributed conversion, and loss reason logs. And the 3 additional fields will be your test group ID, your experiment user index, and your test plan ID. This will give you full visibility on the impact of experiments to your data. If you have any further questions, please reach out to support@beeswax.com or your customer success manager.